Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Game 7. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I get frustrated just thinking about that concept of Game 7. When you watch a lot of sports, like I do, you usually root for teams, and a lot of times they just go into Game 7. I don't know why I'm talking like Christopher Walken. I'm just saying it gets extremely frustrating, but it also gets really exciting. Now, take this for example. Let's say if you're, I don't know, a Toronto Maple Leaf fan and, you just spent your Sunday, just relaxing, recovering from, I don't know, alcohol, and all you want to do is just see your beloved team that you've rooted for since 1982, and you just want to see them win. You just want to see them finally beat the shit out of Boston. But you know what? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Why? I don't know. God? The weather? Extreme fatiguedness? I don't know. I have no idea. And then, of course, it results in a Game 7. That's just an example. It's not like that's actually happening. Yes, it is. But in the end, Game 7s can be very exciting. Most sports go up to Game 7. Obviously, it's a playoff thing. Let me give you an example of what Wikipedia has to say about this. A Game 7 is the final game of a best of 7 series. Well, that makes sense. This game can occur in the postseasons for Major League Baseball, MLB, League Championship Series, and World Series, the National Basketball Association, NBA, all rounds of the NBA playoffs, which I think at one point the first round was best of 5 games, but I don't know, my memory sucks. And the National Hockey League, NHL, all rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The game is generally played at the site of the team holding the home advantage across the series. The nature of a best of 7 series requires that the series be tied at 3 games apiece going into Game 7, such that either team can take the series, advancing further in the playoffs, or winning the championship by winning the game. Because of this decisive nature, Game 7s add an element of drama to their sport. Now, like I said, and like Wikipedia says, it does create a little bit more excitement. But there's times where it just pisses people off. Because in the end, you just want to see a win. A person could be up, let's say, I don't know, 3 games to nothing. And you assume they're not going to blow it. They could just afford to lose 1 game, I guess. 3-1. Who cares? And then 3-2 happens. And you're like, okay, well, we get it. And then 3-3 happens. And you're like, oh shit. How the fuck did it get to this? And then the team ends up winning 4 games in a row. And they end up winning the World Series. Now, am I using this example because I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan and I just want to see Boston go down? Possibly. But the example there I just gave was when the New York Yankees blew a 3-game series lead over Boston. And Boston ended up coming back 4 games. Now, at the time, Jimmy Fallon, he wasn't a big name. I knew him from Saturday Night Live. You know, he did that, Nick Burns computer skit shit. I don't know, whatever. And, he's a funny dude. He did a lot of shitty movies. I'm not going to lie. But he was taping some movie with, what's her name? Drew Barrymore, and they were taping this as that series was going on. They didn't expect Boston to come back. They just wanted some footage for the movie. And then it ended up being a romantic tale of actual fantasies coming true and blah, blah, blah. And then it actually ended up happening. So some things are just meant to be. But again, I'll be damned if Boston will beat us yet again. And again, I know I'm getting personal with this. I know. But Game 7. You know what Game 7 means? It means that obviously one team has won 3 games. The other team has won 3 games. And it's that one team that has that little bit of extra to just say, you know what? Either way, there's going to be a winner. But you know what? I want it to be us. And that's all we want in Game 7. We just want someone to actually take control and just win. But in the end, it really doesn't fucking matter. Because in the end, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. Either both teams try to work their asses off so, they can create great forward and defense and goalies and all that shit, or, maybe someone will just come out right out the box and just dominate the game and just finally end it. But it's going to end either way. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. And all you want to do in the end is just see this fucking series end. So you can go to the next series and worry about that. 7. Even the concept of number 7. 7 has always been some kind of lucky number. Like at this point, you're exhausted when you're at Game 7. I mean, there's other teams that finished in 6 games, 5 games. Even some of them just win 4 in a row. But it is insane. It is absolutely insane when a team can come back 3 games to nothing. Think about that concept. Let's say if you're a professional team. Obviously, you got some good players on there. You might have a whole bunch of great players. But if you're down 3 games, that means you have to win the next 4 games in a row. Even if it's a regular season, to win 4 games in a row, that's pretty cool by itself. But to win it in a playoff, it's insane. Because at least half those games, if not more, are going to be on the opposing team's court. So then you got to put up with their fans, taunting you, distracting you, doing whatever the fuck it takes for you guys not to win. Then the traveling back and forth, more practice, of course. It's insane. And then to get to that Game 7. And can you imagine, and I'm sure this has happened, both teams got 3 games, and then you come back from winning 3 games in a row just so you can catch up to the other team. And then you lose. So it makes all that shit completely pointless. It sucks to say that, but it's the truth. You could be on a winning streak for 3 games in a row, and then all of a sudden the other team just wakes the fuck up and says, you know what? We're the better team. We're going to win. And that's it. It's done. But sometimes it's worth it. In the year 2000, in the NBA, the National Basketball Association, as Wikipedia refers it to, the Los Angeles Lakers were facing the Portland Trailblazers. Now, at this point, Portland had a really good team. They could have gone all the way, but of course, they were playing the Los Angeles Lakers when they were good. At the time, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, they were getting along, I guess. I mean, there was always that, back and forth, like, it was Shaq's team, then it was Kobe's team. Kobe got drafted a couple years before this, still learning his game and all that. And Shaquille O'Neal's been playing for, 8 years or something like that. Just joined the Lakers a couple years before that. So, you got 2 all-stars on the team. And yet they were able to work together, work out all through their differences, whatever, back and forth. Hey, Kobe. Shaquille O'Neal. It's Kobe. Listen, Kobe. Kobe, I'm going to tell you once. It's my team. I came here from Orlando. I'm going to kick some ass. I got to do what I got to do. Now, here's what happens. At the end of the game, you're going to throw me the ball for the alley-oop. I'm going to slam it. Boom. It's over. Shaq Diesel. Hey, Kobe. Kobe. Tell me how my ass tastes. That's funny. Now I'm on TNT doing the reporting about basketball, making more money, doing more commercials, living the life. Kobe. Hey, Kobe, where'd you go? Oh. That's funny. So anyways, I'm just saying, in the end, if you can work together through all your differences, you reach Game 7, that magnificent pinnacle of a series, and you can just dominate. Doesn't matter who you're playing with. Doesn't matter whose ass you're making fun of. The point is, Game 7 can be absolutely exciting for those reasons. But some teams perform so well under pressure. And what's more pressure than a Game 7? In the 1994 Stanley Cup Finals, which is NHL, National Hockey League, Wikipedia, thank you. The Vancouver Canucks were facing the New York Rangers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, I'm a Leaf fan. I really wanted to see Vancouver get their ass kicked. You know what happened before. But anyways, they had a good team. I'll give you that. They had McLean in net, Mr. Trevor Linden, and an awesome player by the name of Pavel Bure. But they were facing many great players on the New York Rangers, including one of the best goalies of all time, Mr. Richter, and one of the coolest players of all time, who also enjoys Lay's potato chips just as much as me, Mark the Moose Messier. And what ended up happening? Of course, the Rangers, who had just that little bit more experience because of a lot of their veteran players, they ended up winning. Now, a lot of times people say, you know what? A veteran player may be older, maybe slower, maybe he's been to the dance so many times he doesn't give a shit. That, my friend, is horsecock. And I'll tell you why. The more experience you have, the better off you'll be in the playoffs. And the playoffs, in the end, especially Game 7, is pressure at its best. And who knows more about pressure than people that have more experience? Hence, that's why the Rangers won. They knew what to do, they knew how to handle it, and they ended up winning. It's that simple. But sometimes it's not that simple. In the 2016 NBA Finals, the Cleveland Cavaliers faced the Golden State Warriors. Now let me paint the picture for you here. You got LeBron James, one of the best basketball players of all time. The guy's like, if Michael Jordan had a kid with Shaquille O'Neal, this is the result. Came back to Cleveland and said, you know what? I got some unfinished business. I'm going to see how far I can go in the playoffs with my old team. Then on the other hand, you got Stephen Curry, great shooter. I wonder where he got that from. Oh yeah, his dad was Del Curry. If you don't know who Del Curry is, get back in line. Also, you got Kevin Durant helping him out. Great player. So, this Game 7, there's like, what? A little more than 3 minutes left. The score is 89-89. Now Golden State has the ball. They take a shot. They miss. Then the Cleveland Cavaliers get the ball. They miss. The Warriors try to shoot again. They miss. LeBron James jumps up, gets the rebound, slams on the floor, almost crushes poor little Curry. But the respect is there. They get up, they both hold each other's hands, and LeBron gives him a pat. It's all good. That's it. What I'm trying to say here, people, is that the level of professionalism, when you reach a certain point in your life, not even just sports, but just in general, you got to keep calm. You got to, like Will Ferrell said in Old School, you got to maintain your composure. You have to. You absolutely have to. And especially in a Game 7 situation, you got to stay relaxed because the game can go either way. And once again, it goes back and forth. Cavaliers miss, Warriors miss. Mr. LeBron James has got a great reach to get the block out, and that's it. Once again, folks, let me just say that this was played in Golden State, which means the color that's going to stand out nice and Brazilian is going to be the color yellow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've not seen this much yellow since the drinking days at the cottage. Yes, I just said a piss joke during this podcast, but I digress. The game just keeps on going. Why? Because it's Game 7. Game 7 is the last chance. It is the absolute last chance to prove yourself that you are the better team in a series. Once again, LeBron James has the ball, goes for it, misses. Del Curry gets it, shoots, misses, timeout. Both these guys are professionals. They keep calm and they try to find a way out. Hence, a way to win and just end this pressure that is Game 7. Cleveland's got the ball. They pass it in. Mr. Kyrie Irving shoots it. Good fadeaway three. Boom. Drops. They're up 92-89. Now, sometimes in a Game 7, you can have everything planned. If things are going your way, great. If not, you got to change it up. And sometimes when you change it up, it doesn't work. But sometimes you just got to go for the Hail Mary. And that's basically what Cleveland did there. They shot the ball, and they got it. Now Del Curry's got the ball. He's going all over the place. It's not like Del Curry doesn't know what to do, but they know deep down he's probably going to go for a three. There's a couple seconds left in the shot clock, and he just throws it up there. But it didn't seem like a really confident shot. Again, it was one of those it's like a Hail Mary again, but just kind of okay, get rid of it and, see what happens. Maybe we can get the rebound. Didn't work out. Didn't drop. LeBron James gets the rebound, passes the ball to Irving, goes towards the hoop, gets blocked, but's able to get the ball, pass it back to Cleveland again. Golden State fouls. Now it's a timeout. Now a lot of people were saying Irving shouldn't have gone so fast to the hoop. They should have spaced that out a bit. But you know what? Again, you can't plan out everything. It's game 7. Sometimes you just want to end it so bad that the opportunity is there and you just want to say, fuck it, let's just go for it. Worst case, he'll foul me. Worst case, maybe I'll miss it and we can try to block them. I mean, sometimes you're not even thinking. Again, I don't know what was going on through his head, but you can't blame the guy. It just happens. Game 7 will just fuck with you forever. It's like literally the last chance. And it wasn't a timeout, but it was still Cleveland's ball. Even I'm getting mixed up in this moment, as anybody would in Game 7. Everyone's on their feet. They just want to see what happens here. So, of course, Cleveland passes it in. Irving's got it. Looks like he's going to go for a shot. Passes it back to LeBron James. He looks like he's going to slam it down. But nope, misses and fouls. Now he's at the line. He knows if he gets at least one out of these 2 baskets, it's a 4-point difference. He shoots the first one, he misses. And again, it's game 7. You're LeBron James. I can't imagine the pressure you're feeling at this point. He has the ball, he shoots it, gets the 1 point. So now it's a 4-point difference, and Golden State calls a timeout. Last timeout is done. Now it's Golden State's turn. The ball is given to, once again, Del Curry. Sees if he can get a shot. He's able to shoot the 3. Misses. The other player tries to shoot it again last minute. It doesn't go. That's a shame. Because when you're pretty much the leader of the team, you're given that opportunity. And, in game 7, again, that is where a lot of people just make or break it, It's not his fault. They were able to keep up with the Cleveland Cavaliers for this long, and unfortunately, sometimes it just comes down to that one last moment. It just sucks way more if it's game 7, because once again, you made it this far and it just didn't happen. And once again, the Cleveland Cavaliers were NBA champions. Coming back from a 3-1 deficit. LeBron James was asked after the game, how are you feeling right now? I could see that all your emotions just came out, and it is really quite an accomplishment. And for LeBron James, for him to just, after all that, just show his true feelings at the end of Game 7, it really is a beautiful thing. He said he set a goal, he wanted to bring a championship back home, and he did it. The only problem now, or the irony, is that In about 7 years, LeBron James will be 40, and hopefully by that time he can somehow perform a miracle in 7 years with the Lakers. But everybody needs their challenge. Everybody needs their hope. Everybody needs to believe that worst case scenario, if something comes down to best of 7, you still have a chance of winning. It's just a shame that a lot of sports don't have a game 7 setup or best of whoever wins 4 games out of the 7 challenge. You take golf, for example. Golf, you could have a really good game, you could have a really bad game. Maybe it depends on the weather, how you're feeling, the mood of your swing, whatever. People wrote off Tiger Woods for the longest time. And then he stepped up. It was almost like his game 7. He waited so long, game after game, and then finally, he won. Same thing in soccer. There is no best of 7. You play one game once you're in the finals. You beat that team, you advance. Or maybe win the championship. You lose, that's it. You're done. Closest thing to Game 7 suspense in soccer is the shootout. They don't even have that in hockey. Once it's the playoffs, you just keep playing. Like my grade 8 teacher told me, you just basically play until your legs feel like jello. And you know what? You just keep on playing because that's what you got to do. So in soccer, stay focused. It's just you and the ball in front of the net. Aim for a certain spot of the net. Hopefully you guessed right. Same thing with the goalie. You go left, you go right. You got maybe a split second to see which way the ball's going to go. Or it depends on the person's foot, like which way it's curved. Or maybe you could do a cycle. Who knows? But that's the closest thing that they're going to get to Game 7. Even in football, there's no Game 7. You're done your games in the season. You go to the next round. If you win, you advance. If you lose, that's it. There's rarely any overtime in football. Just depends on how strong you are that day. It's like the movie, Any Given Sunday. Sometimes they throw a pass and you're off by a couple inches, you're off by a couple whatever the fucks. That's it. It's a game of inches. Now, fuck it. I'm too tired. I'm not going to do an Al Pacino impersonation, but it's true. I mean, Game 7 basically translates to pressure. That's basically what it means. The pressure is on. If you lose, you don't get another chance. That's it. You slowly crawled your way up the ladder. Even if you were down a couple games or it was back and forth like a game of ping pong that feels like it's never going to end. That's all it is. It's pure pressure. And when you're faced with pressure, you got to give pressure back. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, and it is just exhausting sometimes. But it's a good exhaustion. You can never say the Toronto Maple Leafs have never provided such great entertainment and suspense. That's actually one thing I've always liked about them. I mean, they haven't been, so good that you just know they're going to kick ass, But there's been times, certain times you see in the first period, they're just going to go down, like a deck of cards. They're going to face Boston, Game 7, this Tuesday. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what's going to happen. I thought for sure they were going to win today, and that's it. I really thought that. Game 6, playing at home. They brought the pressure in the beginning. And as the game went on, it slowly faded. And that's the problem. With pressure, it's always there. Pressure. There's a reason why it's spelled like that. Press, sure. The press is for sure. It sounds stupid, but it's always going to be there. And you got to face pressure with pressure. And that's exactly what the Leafs have to do on Tuesday. Now it's going to be an uphill battle again because they're playing in Boston. Anybody that knows Boston or is from Boston, you guys don't fuck around. I'll give you that. But when you face an opponent, Game 7 after Game 7 after Game 7, you learn everything about them. And when you play with all your might, you know exactly how to treat that pressure. And once you control the pressure of the game, you got them. And that's what it's all about when you're playing in Game 7.